sifter.com.au.
Hi, I'm Fiona Bartholomeus.
And I'm Naomi Jackson.
Welcome to Walkthrough, Sifter's weekly recap on the biggest news in video games.
This week, Valve announces 3 new devices, including a console-like PC, controller, and VR headset. Death Stranding will get a new anime series, and Final Fantasy IX's Vivi finally gets banned from Magic the Gathering tournaments. Here's the news for Sunday, the 16th of November. Let's go!
Join the Sifter community on Discord at sifter.com.au/Discord.
Valve have just announced 3 new Steam products, including a new console-like mini PC that should have console developers at least a little worried. The Steam machine is a small cube, roughly 16 centimeters on each side, but it is a beast, with 6 times the power of the Steam Deck. It's designed to play Steam games on your TV, and you can turn it on from the couch using the new Steam controller. The machine will run the Steam operating system, and the Steam Verified program will be expanded, so expect developers to target the Steam machine as a platform going forward like they do with the Steam Deck for some pretty impressive performance. If the Steam machine does what the Steam Deck did for handheld consoles, then even if it's not selling millions and millions of consoles, it'll push the direction of other devices for years to come.
The new Steam controller looks pretty much like a Steam Deck if you remove the screen. As well as having the usual buttons and joysticks, this controller has 2 big touchpads at the bottom, so you can use them for mouse controls. It's got built-in magnetic joysticks, so no drift to worry about, and can be bought on its own or as a bundle with the Steam machine. And interestingly, it can tell if you've got your hands on it too, with sensors built in. The Steam Frame VR headset is new, a standalone VR headset which can run regular games or VR games on device, or it can wirelessly stream from a more powerful machine. You can check out Sifter's website for all the specs.
Pokémon Pokopia has just released a new extended trailer, and it's packed with new information, including that Kat's favourite Pokemon, Trubbish, will appear in the game. Also, is the game some sort of post-apocalyptic world? There is legit a ruined Pokémon Center right there. A tear came to my eye as well as we got to learn more about the sweet old Professor Tangrowth, and we also got a peek at some new Pokemon variants.
My little guy, Peakychu, who looks like he may be a ghost-type variant of Pikachu. Pokemon with lantern imagery often are. Paint-covered Smearguru and Mosslax, a Snorlax who slept for so long he is covered in moss, which is absolutely adorable. The game has now got a release date of the 5th of March 2026, so stay tuned for all the inevitable updates and pictures from our team. We got a good look at the upcoming Super Mario Galaxy movie in a special Nintendo Direct this week. Nintendo's Shigeru Miyamoto introduced the movie's first ever trailer, which showed us some of the planets they'll go to, like one of the water worlds, a techno planet, and also a world that has an inverted pyramid, a bit like one we see in Mario Odyssey. We got to see the new villain Bowser Jr., who's on a mission to save his dad with a magic paintbrush, which is interesting as Bowser was painting at the beginning of the trailer, so some people think we might be going a bit into Super Mario Sunshine.
We got to see the beginning of the Star Festival, which kicks off the story in the game, Peach and Toad traveling through launch stars, and most importantly, we got to see a little bit of Rosalina at the end, and she looks awesome. I really can't wait to see more of her and her emo fringe. They did reveal that Brie Larson will be voicing Rosalina, and Benny Safdie from Oppenheimer will be Bowser Jr. The biggest question people have been asking since the trailer came out is, where is Yoshi? He was teased at the end of the last movie, but hasn't made an appearance yet. They've got to leave the best till last, obviously. The Super Mario Galaxy movie will be out next year on April 3rd. Sony held their State of Play this week, focusing on games developed in Japan and Asia, and there was so much to see. A Japan-exclusive Japanese-language digital edition version of the PlayStation 5 console was announced, and it will cost 55,000 yen, or about 541 Australian dollars, and will be releasing next Friday. It's not the first time we've seen a Japan-only console. Most recently, Nintendo released a Japan-exclusive Switch 2 console at a lower price point. It's because of tariffs in the US, let's call that for what it is. inKONBINI, One Store, Many Stories, is a new third-person Japanese convenience store simulator. Taking care of the shop, you'll be stacking shelves, chatting and learning about your frequent customers, and unraveling a story through the choices they make. It looks pretty chill and is out in April next year.
One of my favourite games, Coffee Talk, is getting a new installment called Coffee Talk Tokyo. Like the previous games, you'll be making drinks, chatting with humans, and this time yokai, learning more about their stories. It'll be out on March 5th. 2 new first-person psychological horror games are out next year, BrokenLore Unfollow and BrokenLore Ascend. The first of the 2 games explores the impact that social media has on mental health. You'll play as Anne, a victim of bullying, trapped in a nightmare where she must solve a dark mystery and confront sinister creatures. That one's out on January 16th. Then in BrokenLore Ascend, you climb and stealth up Tokyo Tower, following rooftop climbers Ren and Yui, who are braving the climb to film videos for social media clout. However, the further up they go, the cursed tower, the closer they get to madness. This game is out sometime next year as well. There were heaps of DLC and updates announced at the State of Play, so we'll leave a link in our show notes so you can read all about them. Death Stranding producer Hideo Kojima announced this week that there is a new animated series on the way called Death Stranding Isolations. Revealed at the Disney Plus Originals preview this week, the series will tell a new story separate from the games, following a young man and woman as they set out on an adventure. Not much is known about it yet, but it will be cool to see a different view of the Death Stranding.
What we do know is it'll be a traditional hand-drawn 2D art from some of Japan's top animators at E&H Production, with the concept art created by Ilya Kuvshinov, who was a character designer for Ghost in the Shell SAC 2045. It appears they're working on it at the moment. Hopefully they'll give us new details soon, but the show is slated for a 2027 release exclusively on Disney+.
In Magic the Gathering news, Wizards of the Coast has finally banned the oppressive Vivi Ornitier card, much to the relief of Magic fans everywhere. The little black mage from Final Fantasy IX has dominated the game for the last 5 months since the release of the record-breaking Final Fantasy set. He's effectively created a 2-deck meta. The card is a personal favourite of Gavin Burhay, the principal designer of the game, but even he admitted to us in a recent interview that the card was way too strong.
Vivi wasn't the only card on the chopping block. They've also preemptively banned Screaming Nemesis, the strongest card in the runner-up deck, in hopes that other decks flourish. If you listen carefully, you can hear Sifter's Roy crying in the distance about that one. You can check out a full list of cards banned at magic.wizards.com.
That's it for the headlines. Here are the games coming out this week.
Get ready to blow leaves and your cares away in Leaf Blower Co. It's a super chill work sim where you build your business, buy new tools, kill weeds, blow lots of leaves away, and enjoy beautiful landscapes after you've done your job. That's out on PC on the 17th.
Also out on the 17th is Liminal City, a psychological horror and exploration game based on found footage. Wander the empty streets of Backrooms Level 11, move through different levels, and search for a way out. You can play it on PC on Monday.
Explore Bikini Bottom in a brand new SpongeBob game called SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. Thanks to a clash between the Flying Dutchman and King Neptune, there is ghostly mayhem all over town. Play as both Patrick and SpongeBob in order to save the day and restore Bikini Bottom to what it should be. Grab it on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and Switch 2 on the 18th.
Demon School is a tactics RPG, a bit like Into the Breach and Final Fantasy Tactics, where you confront monsters in the worlds between the human and demon worlds. Plus, you go to uni on an island. What more could you want? Keep an eye on sifter.com.au for Adam's review and pick this one up on the 19th on all platforms.
And Kirby's back with the fun, action-filled Kirby Air Riders. This sequel of the 2003 Kirby Air Ride game is just as hectic as you charge, boost, and spin to attack your rivals or your friends. We got to play it at PAX Oz, and there are so many different game modes to choose from to play with those friends. This one is out on the Switch 2 on the 20th.
Articles to read,
Videos to watch.
and podcasts to listen to.
Sifter.com.au.
This has been Walkthrough by Sifter. My name is Fiona Bartholomeus.
And my name's Naomi Jackson. Thank you so much for listening.
Lots of interesting stuff is going on our website every day, so make a habit of bookmarking sifter.com.au or checking back regularly. This week we've had big Valve news, reviews for hit games, and hardware first looks too. That's sifter.com.au. Add it to your favourites today.
Sifter is produced by myself, Fiona Bartholomeus, Kat John, Kyle Poletto, Adam Christo, Chris Button, and Hope Corrigan. Mitch Lowe is senior producer, and Gianni DiGiovanni is Sifter's executive producer and script editor.
Thanks to Brian Fairbanks from Salty Dog Sounds for composing the walkthrough theme tune, and Audio Technica Australia and Apple for their support of Sifter's podcast.
We'll be back with more news next Sunday. See you then.